Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're getting into Jack Daniel's 10 years. So this whole week, today is going to be the 10 years. Wednesday's video is going to be the 12 years, and I have all 4 of those. And on Friday, it's going to be the 14 years. And now what I'll do is, because it's only 2 bottles, I'll add this year's release of the 10 and 12 to make it a 4-way blind for Friday's video as well. I haven't got the 14 yet, but I have lucky that I have friends that kind of help me out with the 14 until I get my own. This whole week is going to be Jack Daniel's. I don't have the batch one. Once like 5 years ago, I drank it all by now. It happens sometimes, you know. That's what the whiskey's supposed to be done. But I have batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, and the 2026 one, the batch 5. They're all the same proof. They're all 97 proof, 10-year age dated, right around that like $100 price point. But first, let's do a giveaway. All right, and this giveaway is going to be for the Remus limited edition video I did about like a week and a half ago, the Babe Ruth stuff. So let's see, and the winner is Beer Bike Bourbon Run. Congratulations, the email's in the description, send me an email. All right, let's find out what's the best one that's come out so far, except for batch 1, I know. Trust me, I thought I might have had a backup of it at some point, and I was looking to see, and I couldn't find it, but it's fine. There's 4. We'll figure out what's the best out of the 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I haven't had too much of the batch 5, the newest one. It was in my Whiskey Cigar Club a couple times, but besides that, I don't think I've had it outside of that. So we'll see how it does today. All right, A on the nose. Not like crazy intense, but a solid, complex nose. Red fruit, slight banana, chocolate, a slight dusty note, and nutty. So we'll see. I wonder if I'm gonna get the banana notes on all of these this whole week. I did try the new 14, and I picked up a decent amount of banana notes, banana bread note, if I'm remembering correctly, in a blind. And I don't remember the 14 last year being banana forward. So we'll see how that plays out on Friday. But I already got the banana note right away on the first nose. Let's go to B. All right, B right away was a little bit more intense than A, but quickly kind of became lighter, kind of like A eventually was. More intense, slight banana, so the banana note again. A dusty chocolate note, where on A I said chocolate and dusty as separate notes. Similar-ish notes there. I wasn't getting the red fruit I was getting on A, but I got a slight cola note, and I got a wet peanut note. The wet peanut note's not my favorite note to pick up, but still decent. Not sure what nose I would like better there. But let's go to C. Interesting. On glass C, red fruit, slight banana, kind of was coming off like A was. And then I got a nutty note, which these have been a little bit nutty too. But it was like an earthy nutty. It was like if you got a peanut, like an actual peanut with the peanut shell and everything, right out of the ground, like with dirt on the shell, on the outside of the shell. Strange. Different, I'll say that. That's another reason why I wanted to do this week, is I want to try all of them and kind of see how different they are and stuff. So we'll find out together. Interesting. So D is very similar to C, the same red fruits, slight banana, that earthy peanut note I was talking about before, but it has a little bit of like a cherry cola note, but it is very similar to C. All right, let's get to the palate on A. All right. First of the day, so the finish didn't linger enough, but the notes there were so good. Oh man! So on the palate, red fruit, banana runts, like the candy, sweet oak, vanilla, nutty. On the finish, right when I got to the finish, it was like a dessert. And I was trying to figure out what type of dessert, but the flavors were like a banana, chocolate, nuttiness. So maybe I'll see if I can figure out if it's like a banana cream pie or something like that. Very sweet, very tasty on the finish. Overall, and I didn't write it down, but I was saying in my head, I was like, it's a little bit too watered down, and you know, 10 years are the lowest proof. It's a little thin. It's not showing me that it should be worth $100. Not that it's a bad value, it's 10 years and everything, but it was a little thin, a little bit watery, and the finish wasn't that long. But first sip, so we'll see if it improves on the second sip. The second sip wasn't as good as the first sip, mainly because of the finish. I get new notes on the palate, but on the finish, that nuttiness got a little bit stronger. It wasn't as sweet. and that nuttiness kind of went in like almost a stringent direction. Interesting. Well, that's not good. That's it's like third sip. Okay, that third sip was better than the second sip, which thank goodness. But it wasn't as good as that dessert note I got on the finish on the first sip. So it's gonna hurt a little bit. It's still kind of this little astringent oak nutty note on the finish. It's not that long. I'll give it a kind of a tentative score so I have an idea. All right, let's go to B. All right, B is similar to A. I wonder how similar these are going to end up being. So I got banana bread instead of the banana runts candy note. So that was a difference for sure. But again, it was watery overall. Oak, nutty, red fruit. And on the finish, sweet, red fruit, oak. The finish was actually pretty good. It kind of reminded, it wasn't as good as the first finish on A, which was just ridiculously good. But it was better than the other two finishes on A. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. The finish does linger a little bit longer than A. Overall, I think the finish is definitely better. I don't know about the palate. We'll see on a couple more sips. Once again, the palate didn't get any new notes, and it's still not the best palate. The finish did get better. Some marshmallow notes, some cherry cola notes. It lingers for good. It like stays on the tongue for a while. Finish is, I do like the finish a lot. The palate though is, there's a lot of like this oaky nutty note that's kind of like the star of the show on the palate, and it's okay. There's nothing off-putting about it. We'll see on the third sip, I guess. Why? Palate kind of was the same. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, oh, the palate's actually not too bad. It's decent. And then the finish kind of went not as good, of course. It was basically it just became kind of like nutty forward. The same thing where I think on the second or third sip on A, where it kind of got like a little nutty astringent. Kind of the same thing on the side of the tongues. Side of my tongue is kind of this astringent nutty note. It's slight. It wasn't as intense like in A. Do I like that better than A? Maybe. They are a little bit different. If you've been around a little bit, I've done several different videos like this where I'm comparing basically the same brand annual releases against each other and single barrels that are the same release. The Jack Daniel's toasted barrels, I did that. I did 6 different Jack Daniel's toasted barrels, and it was 3 sets of 2 sister barrels, and those had pretty different profiles. You could definitely change barrel to barrel, and you could definitely change annual release to annual release. But let's get to C. I mean, that one's significantly better than the first two. It's that first sip was so much better. Crazy. Like my brain was like, how is this the same thing? I looked at the bottles to make sure not like a 12 or the 14 to sneak in here. This one was really good. Intense red fruit, sweet, richer. That was like the biggest thing. It was just much richer. Didn't taste as watery and thin like the first two. That was like the biggest positive. Dark chocolate oak nutty. On the finish, red fruit oak sweet. Overall, fantastic. I like that quite a bit. Now let's hope that the second and third sips get better and not worse. Lucky for me, it got a little bit better, I guess. It didn't get worse, that's for sure. So I got vanilla on the palate and marshmallow and cola on the finish. I mean, this is night and day better than the first two. What the heck? Okay, third sip. Well, I do like that. I'm pretty sure I didn't say cola last time on the palate. I'm pretty sure I just wrote that this time. I was enjoying that too much apparently. But I got cola on the palate, nothing new on the finish. Those 3 sips were the best 3 sips I've had of the first 9. Let's just go with that. Okay, let's go to D. Hopefully this one's good too. Shoot. That one's pretty good too. And I didn't get banana on this one at all. Did I get banana on the last one? I did not. Interesting. So nutty, lighter, almost like green apple direction. Kind of like apple, pears. I was definitely like in an orchard on the finish and palate on this one. Oak, sweet, red fruit. On the finish, apple, oak, sweet, vanilla. It was lighter versus these other ones. Still very tasty, but this one seemed to be a little bit off profile than these other ones, but in a good way. It wasn't watered down like the first two. It was you know, coming off of C, I thought C kind of blew away A and B. It kept toe to toe with C, but in a different way. So let's see how it does on the second sip. That is pretty good. I didn't write anything new. There was some kind of note on the palate that I could not figure out at all. And I think I focused too much on trying to figure out that note that I didn't write any notes for anything. But overall, still pretty good. But let's see if I can pick up anything on the third sip. All right, glass D. Overall, it's a lot of fruits, very fruit forward, sweet. It's delicious. It's pretty freaking good. I wrote vanilla on the palate. I wrote slight coffee on the finish. The slightest coffee. It was like getting a little bit darker on the finish. And I picked up a little bit of like a coffee type flavor, like almost like a coffee ice cream. Not gonna lie, I liked that as well. All right, that was third sip on that one. So I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna A/B all these, and I'll come back with some scores. All right, that was not easy. So I drank every single little drop out of those cups, and my wife's sleeping, so I'm not even gonna try to wake her up to pour more. But I drank every single drop to figure out the score. I crossed out all my original scores, moved them around a little bit, so a little bit of shocking results not based off like what I was expecting going into it. It's like kind of like the loser kind of was like, oh man, really? So that kind of situation, I guess. I didn't really have like one that I thought in my head like, oh, this is my favorite one or not. So, but let's do the giveaway. So if you want 2-ounce samples of all of these, this is the only one that's kind of short, but there's plenty in there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with JD10X. Just throw a random extra letter there, the X specifically. Don't just do any random letter, because I'm sure people are going to abbreviate Jack Daniel's 10 in the comments. So JD10X, that'll be your way to get into the giveaway. And so all one word, obviously. So that's how you get into it. So let's get into the results here. What was last place? Because I crossed this out so many times. It would be B, which is the new one. The new one came out last place for me. And I had it ahead of A going through it the first time. But I was going back and forth a little bit. What did I write? I wrote a new note with strawberry. But it started becoming very banana forward more than the rest. And there's nothing wrong with like that banana note if you like bananas. I eat banana basically every single day. So I do like bananas. But it was kind of a little bit too strong. But the biggest problem with A and B, which is one? This is batch 3. Yep, batch 3 and 5. The problems were they were just more watered down. Like they were more watery than the other 2 batches, and that was why significantly scored lower, because the actual profiles aren't crazy different, but these other batches over here didn't appear as watered down as these other ones, if that makes any sense to you. Me just going through all 4 of these real quick, but it's a little proof. I'm okay. So I scored the new batch 5, 3.3. And third place was batch 3, the 3.4. No new notes there, but going back and forth a bunch of different times. That first sip where I got that really nice finish on it, it was starting to come back a little bit more, and that's kind of why A went ahead of B, meaning batch 3 went ahead of batch 5, because they started getting a little bit tastier. So that's kind of what happened here. So it's between batch 4 and batch 2 for first place. And the winner is batch 4, which is phenomenal because that's the one I have the most of. So it works out for me, I guess. I did write a couple of new notes. Let's see. That is batch 4. On the palate, I got banana bread, which I didn't get any banana notes on the first pass. But coming back to it, after I drank the water, and if you guys don't know, I drink water when I go back and forth. Before I go like A-Bing them, I'll drink every single one after drinking water to kind of like cleanse my palate. But I always take 2 sips because the first sip might be impacted by the water. And after that second sip, it was banana. I got not banana forward, but I got banana bread notes, which I didn't get any banana on the first time. Also got slight purple grape on the palate and finish. And if I get that purple grape note, it's going to give it an extra point. But it was kind of already winning, I think, going this way. It was between these 2. But I have everything crossed out. Who freaking knows what it was. But I did really enjoy batch 4. Batch 2, No new notes, but I scored a 3.7. Very good. It's funny because the slight coffee part. On the very last sip, I got the slight coffee note again. I was like, oh, is that the same one? And it was. I'm like, you know, when you do this kind of crap, you know, when you are writing down a bunch of notes and you get one of those weirder notes and you kind of confirm your own palate, it makes you feel a little bit better. So happy I got the slight coffee note again, like later on after A being, it was literally the last thing I tasted or sipped or whatever. But anyways, have you guys had any of these? What's your favorite Jack Daniel's 10 if you've had more than a couple? Definitely tell me your thoughts about them. Do you think they're worth the $100? None of them are bad. I would be lying to you if I didn't say I would be trying to chase one next year. You know what I mean? So definitely something I would buy if I saw the MSRP. Even I already have a backup of this year's batch, which came in last place for me, which is fantastic. Definitely go trade that. I won it in a raffle, a right to buy it anyways. But if I saw another one at the store at MSRP, I'd probably pick it up just for the trade value itself, you know. I know a lot of people chase these. I have a lot of people in my life that would love one. So definitely something that if I saw, I would pick up for someone else. That's that. Wednesday is going to be Jack Daniel's 12. I am not recording that after this. I'm going to edit this video to post it because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning Sunday night. I work nights, guys. That's what I do. So I'll probably record 12 tomorrow, like the next day or whatever, and get that for Wednesday. So Wednesday will be the 12th, Friday will be the 14th. So it's going to be all Jack Daniels all week long. So I hope you guys like Jack Daniels. Don't do this stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.